Today, I am very excited. I've got Savanah Romney, who may or may not be related to my friend Emma Romney. She is a 20-year-old realtor and the host of Uncharted, a podcast. How would you describe what it's about?
Yeah, so it's about embracing the unknown. I think especially a lot of younger people are so scared of jumping into new things. And so I'm just really big on getting your full potential out of life and really going full force and becoming who you're meant to be. So,
I actually had a coaching session with Mandy Keene, who's a coach. She coached Russell Brunson and people like that in the big entrepreneurial space. And she has a book called Understand Me. And she was saying the number one regret people have when they're older that she's interviewed that are close to death or dying from cancer or whatever it is, or just old age. It wasn't, I wish I'd bought a bigger house, or I wish I had gone to more soccer games with my kids, or whatever. It was, I didn't live my life to my fullest potential, and I have regrets about that. That's the number one thing. In fact, I actually talked to the nurse that knew my grandpa. My grandpa passed away 6 years ago. He was elderly, died of old age. But he was super, super stressed about feeling like he hadn't done enough, which my grandpa was an amazing man, Stant. Sugar beet thinning in Idaho when he was 3 years old. The farm's mortgage when his dad died when he was a teenager was in his name because his older brother ran away to a different state. So he's 14, taking care of 6 siblings. Anyway, so Stant was an awesome guy, but he was just so concerned he hadn't done enough. And then he met with a chaplain at the nursing home he was at for a couple of years, and they talked. And as soon as he accepted certain things about you did fine, you did great, he passed away a week later. That acceptance was able to let him let go, of life a little bit and be, okay, I did do great. I'm a fine person. It was kind of weird hearing that from the chaplain. She spoke at my grandpa's funeral. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect to be talking about that today.
I love it though.
But yeah, I don't know what you're saying about it just made me think of 6 different things. But yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think people are scared to dive into new things?
Absolutely. I'm scared. I've told my wife this a dozen times in the last month. I am scared shitless. And I've joked that I'm going to poop in the car. That's probably a gross way to say it. And it's because we know someone that's going through incontinence that's related to us. So I shouldn't joke about that in that sense. And sorry, everyone. But the joke is I'm scared shitless because I'm doing all these things I've never done before, right? I've done insurance for 7 years and I've only ever marketed myself by throwing a post on Facebook or texting a friend, right? And now I'm launching a podcast, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing all this stuff in the last month. And I'm imposter syndrome. We're feeling that, yeah.
Which, okay, so this is so I had a guest, Steve Holm. Do you know who that is?
I do not know Steve Holm.
He's a real estate agent. He owns, he's awesome. I just interviewed him. He now runs a $40 million construction company. He's doing great things. He's 23. And I'm good for you, dude. But we talked a little bit about what your grandpa was saying. He was oh, I feel I didn't do enough. And so when I talk to people, I'm okay, there's 2 outcomes here. Mm-hmm. You either do things, do things that scare you, right? And you have no regret, or you're just stuck in this rut. And so one thing, it might have been another guest too. I talk about this all the time, but how much regret do you want to have on your deathbed?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I'm so passionate about, because you're starting this, right? And you knew you wanted to do this for a while.
A long time. I had a podcast back in college 10 years ago and then I stopped because I was scared.
Yeah. And so for you, it's you're stepping into all this and think about on your deathbed, you're not going to have as much regret because you're doing this.
I'll have other regrets.
Yeah.
But working on all of them slowly.
Yeah. And so that's one thing about me. Throughout this podcast, we'll probably bring that up a lot, but it's just because I think everyone has so much potential and they're just letting fear get in front of them.
Have you read the book Outwitting the Devil?
I have not.
By Napoleon Hill?
No.
You need to read it. Kay. So he wrote it in 1938 and he's predicting World War II. So it's basically he's having a conversation with Satan, with the devil, and the devil's revealing all of the ways that he controls the minds and hearts of men. He's being forced because of the self-mastery Napoleon Hill has. He's able to coerce the devil to talk to him, and he has to answer his questions. And at the beginning, he jokes. He's like, people are going to ask me if this is real or if this is fake or if I actually talk to the devil. Who cares, right? If this is useful and helps you regain control of your mind and your choices, and you're not going to be as fearful, or you're going to be able to do the thing, who cares if it's real or not? But I will tell you, to me, this is real, right? And like, it's cool. But it was so powerful. His wife said, you can't publish this book. And then it got given to his like nephew after he died and after she died in like the 70s. And he's like, I can't publish this book. It wasn't published until 2011.
Was he
And it
still
was written
alive?
in 1938. No, Napoleon Hill died in like the 50s or 60s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at history.
He was like the beginning of the whole like modern like self-help business type of like that's the guy. Yeah, like Think and Grow Rich.
Yes,
that's Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, Outwitting the Devil, and literally, I've been binge reading parts of it. There's a part where he asks a question about like how Satan's able to get so much control over our minds, where people are. He uses this phrase like constantly drifting, like in a state of endless drifting, rather than taking control. Take the bull by the horns. Is the way I think about it, right? Like actually making things happen and overcoming that fear. And he asks a question. I can't remember exactly what it was. And Satan is like, or the devil, as he calls him in the book, says, you don't want me to answer this question. He's like, you need to answer this question. He's like, oh, I can't answer the question. Like, you trust me, you don't want me to. And he's like, no, you need to answer the question. And so the devil's like, I'm so glad you're answering this question. I'm going to answer this question because if I answer this question and you write it down, your book will never be published. It's like, this book will not be published because it will reveal so much power to people that actually think they'll be able to get out of my mind control. But it's so powerful. No publisher will read your book. No magazine will talk about it. No newspaper will touch it with a 10-foot pole. Like, no one will talk about your book or let you publish it. And that kind of came true, right? You didn't get published until 2011, and it was written in 1938. Like, wow. But yeah, he's like predicting World War II and like talking about Hitler and Mussolini by name, like these people. And then he's actually talking about like FDR, the president at the time, how I've got so much control over these people in these countries, like the devil talking to him. If I'm able to continue my course, Uncharted, America will fall and it'll become a dictatorship like Italy and like Germany and like, what is going on? And all the things that were happening in it's anyways, I get really excited about the book. It's a definite read.
Need to read it
because it is so great. My wife and I have been talking about it for like 2 days straight. Like it's, and I'm only like a third of the way through the book. It's just overwhelming. Like, whoa, there's a lot of ways that we give up our power without even thinking about it, whether it's through fear, or being hesitant to act or fear of being judged or fear of someone, not liking something you've done or said, but it's like, who cares? Like, do it anyways.
Well, I think it's Alex Hormozy. Do you know who that is?
I love Alex Hormozy.
Yeah, he's my favorite, but I'm pretty sure it was him that said this, everyone's just going to die.
Yeah.
So it's
what's going to happen? You die?
Like you die. Everyone's going to die. And so that's why I'm so big on just living your potential. And like you're talking about, like you're scared when you do things that you don't know the outcome. So am I. Like everyone probably feels the same emotions. It's just not talked about.
Yeah. We don't talk about it. Or I was even thinking to that. It's like, okay, the worst thing that happens is you die. And that doesn't even matter, right? I mean, I'm a big Christian fan. I'm Christian. I love Jesus. Jesus is my homeboy. Like, death's been overcome. Like, there's nothing to fear except death. And death's been over. Like, it's just, take away all those obstacles, right? Whether it's through a higher power or Jesus Christ or whatever you have your faith in, like, use that to do the hard thing. That's actually one of the quotes that I wrote down was, remind your nervous system when you're freaking out that it's not hard, it's just new. So that was one of the things that I'm like, that's super good. Good.
Funny about that. So that was probably from an Instagram reel, huh?
Yeah.
So I have these little like things, I swear, that come to me, and I'm just like, okay. So now I'm starting to write them down, and that was one of them. But yeah, the little phrases also just to remind yourself, like, hey, like I'm fine, will get you through so much more than you can think of.
I'm fine. I actually had a therapist who that like became a catchphrase for me. Like, just remind yourself you're fine, which is why that hit me so powerful when you said that. It was like a reminder. Like, I haven't thought about that in a while. And it was like every time I was overwhelmed or stressed, just tell yourself you're fine. And that was helpful for me. Right? Everyone has different ways that they talk to themselves, that they need to talk to themselves to overcome stress and anxiety and depression, whatever it is you're experiencing. But for me, tell myself I was fine. Worked for a while. And thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah. I'm glad it could help.
It's cool. I did want to talk a little bit about what you do.
Yeah.
As a realtor, or maybe even tell me about your podcast. I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. I'm just excited to talk.
Yeah. I'll just share with you a little bit about just me.
How did you end up doing all these things?
Yeah. So I'm actually from Arizona.
Okay.
I
do detect a hint of like a southern drawl.
Really?
In your voice.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure where. I was gonna jokingly say like Alabama or something. But I don't know. Maybe relatives or something. Arizona.
I have like relatives in Texas.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. But yeah. So I was from Arizona. I wanted to move out here, in middle school, whatever. I actually came and visited right after I graduated, and I was like, I'm never going to come out here. Like, I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I like Arizona. I like Texas. It's pretty here, but yeah, it's my favorite. But I was like, I just don't think I need it. Like, I'm just not going to come up here. And, maybe some of that was just some of my experience. But anyways, fast forward, right? So growing up, I guess, rewind. Growing up, I was very stubborn. I hated being told what to do.
Love it. Rebellious.
My poor parents. I was a good kid, kind of, but I just hated being told what to do, right? And so I actually graduated a year early because I hated high school too.
Dang.
Like, I was like, this is pointless. I took college credits to like graduate early, whatever. And I think that's when I realized like entrepreneurship was for me, because I was like, I hate having a boss. Like, I hate being told what to do. And so right after high school, I went to Florida and like nannied for cousins, whatever. And he knows some business owners out there, like big business owners. And I started getting more introduced to business. And 6 months later, I started my clothing line. So I don't know if you know that,
I did
but
not.
I do have a clothing line. Yeah. So it's on the side right now, but I started a clothing line at 18 years old.
What's the brand?
It's called Lilac Stone. Super simple design right now. I eventually want to pick it up fully again.
Cool.
But it has a similar representation as my podcast, Embracing the Unknown. I'm just so passionate about people reaching their highest potential.
I love those simple, like super simple slogans. I mean, you just got like you got like Supreme, obviously. That's just like one word, or you see like with some conservative brand right now, there's just freedom, like one word, or like it's iconic when there's just like a one word phrase, or, like Nike's "Do It" or whatever. Like, it's just it causes a movement. It's not just clothing; it's action.
And so. Yeah, I started my clothing line, and at that time, I was dating someone, got into a super bad breakup, right? 6 months later, I'm sitting in the car with my mom at the time, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, yeah, I'm running a business. Like, I've wanted this since I was little. What am I doing? And I just sat there for a second, and you said, you know what? I am moving in 2 weeks, and I'm moving to Utah.
Whoa.
And I was like, those are two. Obviously, I like being independent, but I'm like, Utah? Like, I told myself 6 months ago, I would never move to Utah.
Not Utah.
Right?
I lived in Utah my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. But
and I want to get out sometimes, but it's like, wait, why? I love it here.
It's so pretty. Like, I've learned to love it so much.
Yeah. It's cool. 2 weeks, move to Utah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so,
would you describe that as like inspiration, or like what was the emotion behind that? Like, did it just feel right, or?
It did just feel right. Also, something about me is I'm a quick mover.
Yeah.
So as soon as I want to do something, I do it. And that leads to the podcast, right? I used to take my dad's phone and just walk around the house and talk to it. So I was a big talker. I always loved talking to people, inspiration, all that jazz. And I was talking to my friend at the time that lives here. He has a podcast, but he's not super active in it anymore. Okay. And I was like, yeah, I want to start a podcast, but it's just not my time. Which I think, again, falling into the trap of, oh, I'm just going to keep waiting. How long are you going to wait till 10 years pass? And it never happens.
I've done that.
Yeah. Which it's normal,
All that's going to happen is you'll be 10 years older and you haven't done the thing yet.
Exactly.
So do it.
And so that's when I just got up, started the podcast. I was super lucky to have a friend. She was moving. She owns a house. She was moving out. She's like, hey, I need renters. I was able to have my own studio. So I had my own little studio in the home. And I wanted to be a real estate investor. And so I was like, you know what?
Be a realtor.
Yeah. I was
find the deals for other people, and eventually you'll have the money to find the deal for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to answer your question, I guess I've just always been a very like quick to choose. So that podcast, I started painting my studio, I think a month later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
another perk of having a friend as your landlord. They're going to be okay with you painting.
Yep. So, and then.
So that studio from the filming on like Instagram, like that's all your house.
So.
Or your studio.
The brown room. Yes.
Yeah.
So now I have a new studio in Pleasant Grove. Cool. But yeah. So my biggest thing, I just hate being told what to do. Yeah. And also I guess one thing that I've learned so far, I'm 20 years old. Like I have so much to learn. But I guess Nike, just do it. Just do it. Stop trying to think, oh, is this like rational? Obviously, make sure you're not hurting anyone and you're not overworking yourself.
Yeah.
But for me, you're only so young for so long. And
then you turn 30. Yeah. Your bones start not working right.
I mean, my dad's 50 now and he's like, I wake up and but that's my thing. If I want anyone to learn anything from me, just do it. Like just do it. Just act. Just act because again, you're only going to be so young and it's never too late to start.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, you look at some of the biggest successes, right? Like think about Sam Walton in Walmart or Colonel Sanders, in KFC. Like some of these people didn't start till they were in their 40s or 50s and they turned huge global brand. And not that everyone needs to make a huge global brand. It's just an example that it's not too late to do the thing. Or one of my favorite movies is Secondhand Lions.
I've never seen this.
Watch Secondhand
Lions.
Okay. It basically starts with the end. So it starts with there's like a guy and there's an airplane upside down in a barn and there's a boy and he's like, oh, what happened? It's like, well, it looks like they tried to fly the airplane through their barn. Oh, so that's how they died. And then it like cuts to the same boy and he's like a little kid, right? And that's how the story starts. And I'm like, yeah, these guys decided to learn how to fly a plane in their 70s or 80s or however old they were. I don't know how old they were in the movie. But you're not too old to do the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the scary thing. Yeah,
that's also what I'm just big on, like, just go live your life. My dad would always say this thing to me when I grew up, which I was like, shut up. But now I'm like, okay, it makes sense. But he would always say, Savanah, get off your phone and live your life, right? We're so tied to these devices, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's pathetic how much I need my phone to run my businesses.
Or if I pulled up how many hours I've been on my phone, that would be scary. I actually want to pull it up and see.
I don't even think I have screen time on here because I don't even want to know.
Time. I've been on it's 10:30 and I've been on my phone for 2.5 hours today.
It's just crazy and you just recorded another podcast episode. So.
Yes. So I definitely wasn't on my phone for the last hour.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. We're so tied to these devices and it's sad because we can't live without them.
Yeah.
We can't, especially if you're running a business online, you can't live without it.
Yep.
But that's also one thing. Get off your phone and live your life.
Yeah. Go do things. Yeah, absolutely. Like you have to have your thing that you do for relaxation. Like about a month ago, I got a piano. I haven't played piano for like 13 years. I used to do competitive piano here in Utah. Yeah, it was a thing. And then I kind of gave that up when I got into dance and I did competitive dance too, which I don't look like a dancer now, but I used to be a dancer.
Dancing with the Stars, Sue?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love Dancing with the Stars. I've been watching. I was so sad when Jenna. Anyways, that's a different topic. But yeah. So anyways, I got my childhood piano. The one my parents bought when I was a kid. They were like, hey, do you want this piano? You can have it. And it's an upright piano. It's not like a big piano, but I was like, sure. And so I got that like a month ago and I've just spent hours like trying to improve because when you haven't practiced for 13 years, you have lost a lot of skills. So I get frustrated trying to do things that I used to be able to do and couldn't do. But having something to hyper focus on to get your mind off of because my mind goes like this and it's all over the place and I'm thinking about business and I'm thinking about the podcast and I'm thinking about getting clients and I'm thinking about specific things with some of my clients that I'm trying to help them with right now or whatever. But I sit at the piano and I'm able to turn it off for a little bit, So everyone needs something that they can do to get their mind off of the stress, the stuff that's overwhelming you. And for some people, it's going in the woods and camping or going on a hike or doing photography, you know, people, I have friends that I have one friend, his name's Steele, and he got into like the backpack, like paragliding. So it's like this like wind thing on his back, and he posts videos like every month or so, and he's just like flying over Utah Lake or whatever. Or one time I used to live out in Saratoga. I'm running in the morning at like 7 a.m. I see him flying. He touches down in the neighborhood next to me. I tried to yell. I don't think he saw me. And then he just takes back off and goes flying. I'm like, what are the chances that I see someone?
Was it motorized?
Yeah, it's got like a motorized fan thing on his back, and then he's got like a giant like paraglider set up, and the fan also has like a seat, so he's sitting and he's got little things to turn and what. I'm like, this is like, how on earth do you get into that? But that is his thing, and he's good at it, and he loves it, and yeah, it's like everyone needs their thing.
Yeah,
do your thing.
Which was it hard for you to find that?
Find my piano playing?
Just your thing.
I still feel like I don't have my thing. Like I want to do piano, but I'm like, I love doing insurance. Obviously, like I've done it for 7 years, and my plan is to do it till I retire. Like it's worked out well, and I like the people I work with. But sometimes I feel like I'm trying to do too many things, and instead of just doing one thing really well. So I don't know.
I actually want to know your opinion on this.
Okay.
Because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, right? And they're like, oh, like focus on one thing. But for me, I'm just like, yes, I understand hyper-focusing on something, but I'm very big on like, I'm passionate about these 3 things, and I'm okay with deciphering it out.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts when it comes to like...
So I thought about it a little bit because, so I might have to draw some of this out. So Alex Hormozy, I actually was watching one of his videos about like do one thing super well, right? And I was thinking about it because everyone has a different command philosophy. It's like, here's what I do and why I do it. I was reading Chick-fil-A's command philosophy, and their first thing, they say, if you pull it up, it's like to glorify God in all of our interactions or something like that. And it's like, okay, I mean, obviously you get it. Chick-fil-A, obviously is a Christian company, but you wouldn't think that their mission statement that they read to every new employee is the purpose of our chicken sandwich is to glorify God in every interaction with his children. Like, cool. I'm paraphrasing it slightly. I'm not saying it perfectly right, but right. Like, so that's the thing. And okay, maybe that is as simple as selling a chicken sandwich and really good lemonade, right? or for Alex, he's cutting out the things that he's not good at and hiring people to do that. Like my business coach was recently telling me, it's like, Jacob, you can't be spending half of your time in your office doing the quotes. You need to have someone who's good with the numbers that can do that. You should be spending your time selling and podcasting, right? So I think the doing one thing isn't about saying you could only do one thing. Like you can only be a realtor, or you can only have a clothing brand, or you can only do a podcast, right? It's having a unifying one thing that all that ties together. So like example, I'm obviously an insurance agent, right? This podcast, obviously the goal is for people to see that and be like, wow, that guy is honest and he's the guy that picks up his phone or whatever. Like I want to use him for a quote, or I want to connect with realtors, right? Obviously there's a little bit of a selfish pretext where, yeah, I would love for in the future when you sell houses to, oh, Jacob's the guy I use for insurance, right? Like that's the goal of all of this is ultimately I want to make money by selling insurance. But I want to have fun and I want to meet cool people. So, right, but I want to expand this. So like, I want to have like, hey, here's the official realtor of Financial Ginger, the podcast, right? Like this is the team that I refer people to when they come to me and say, hey, who do you got for this? Or here's my life insurance guy, right? Here's my financial planner that I work with when someone, and that can be part of that unifying, that one focus. And I'm sorry, I'm going to jump to a different topic. So I've decided in my life that these notes are terrible. No one can read these. I can't even read these. My handwriting looks like dog vomit. I've discovered that kind of like Chick-fil-A, I want my whole focus to be on Jesus Christ and glorifying Christ. And this is a little bit of a weird thing to talk about on a podcast where I'm not used to talking about it so publicly because I feel like for a lot of Christians, that's your thing, do it, but don't force it. I mean, I don't want to force it on people. I just want to tell people the reason I do my thing is because of Jesus, right? Like at one point in my life, I was contemplating suicide. It was like 7 years ago, it was right before I got started in insurance. I graduated college. I couldn't find a job. Every job he wanted me to be a sales guy starting at zero and being pure commission. And I'm just like, that was so stressful for me. I'm like, I can't do that. And yeah, at one point I was sleeping for like 20 hours a day. And literally the one thing that kept me going was running. I ran a half marathon that year. And most people would have thought I looked like a happy guy. That was a guy that was contemplating suicide, right? So I ran a half marathon, and then in December, 2 months later, I did it in October, is when I got the job. And I had actually left Christianity at that point in my life. I was away from it for a while. And I was, praying and pondering and talking with God just like a couple weeks ago. And I was asking, like, why did I go through these hard things? Why was that so difficult? Like, why was it so? And he was like, don't you see? Like, that was me. Like, I was the one helping you run, so you didn't do that. You didn't go through with that plan. Like, that's why you were able to get out of bed for that one thing. Like, if anything, why am I going to sleep 20 hours a day and get out of bed just to go running? Like, right? And it was a weird moment where, like, there was some specific things that happened, like, emotionally for me, like, that got me out of bed to go running. And that was it. And I'm like, oh, like, even in my dark moment, Christ was there the whole time. Right. And so that's why I'm even alive. Right. Like, I'm alive because of Jesus Christ, and my spiritual self is alive because of Christ. So like, my physical body was given to me by God. I'm only alive because of God. My spiritual, right. All this is because of Christ. So I'm like, how on earth can I tie that into selling insurance and doing so I think the whole goal, what you're asking about, like doing one thing well, the one thing I want to do well is loving Jesus Christ. That's the one thing I want to do well. And everything else I do needs to tie into that. So I don't know. That's my very long-winded response to your question is do one thing well. And it's okay if one thing means multiple things, as long as you're doing that one thing.
Based on your description, I thought of like a mission statement. And so that I actually really like that because I don't know. There's a lot you can do with a mission statement, like you were just explaining. So I think that's cool. Want
to hear my mission statement? Let me pull out my device we were just talking about. I actually have been working on this with my, let's pull it up. Where is it? I'm scared I don't know where it is right away, but let's see. Nope, it's not right there.
You have it written in your phone?
Yes.
When did you write that?
Like in the last week. So this is a new development. There we go. Version 0.02. So I've been modifying it. So I got version 1, version 2, and it's a little bit long. So I'm trying to pare it down a little bit. And I also haven't properly incorporated this Christ aspect because I'm kind of writing this in the sense that I want the employees in my office, right, that are doing insurance quotes like that to be shareable with them. But anyway, so here's what I've got so far. So Jacob's command philosophy, intent, to lead a team that protects people's peace of mind through integrity, clarity, and care. I will set the example in professionalism, communication, and compassion. I will empower each agent to take ownership of their clients, to act with integrity, and to pursue excellence in every interaction. Leadership in this insurance agency means serving others with promptness, honesty, and genuine care because every policy we write represents a family trusting us to protect what matters most. I believe in leading by example through clarity and direction, consistency in action, and care in every interaction. My role is to create an environment where people can take ownership, serve others with purpose, and grow into trusted professionals. We win as a team when every agent feels empowered to do good and is proud of the work that they sign their name to. We are not here to impress you. We are here to serve you. There's a little bit more, but that's the job. I'm like that.
What had you write that?
So my buddy, my coach, Parker McCumber, he is military. So and he started many brands. He owns this podcasting studio, and he was like, he shared that Alex Hormozy video with me, and he's like, you need to have an absolute focus for how you do what you do, because you need to have a vision that you can share with the people that you're bringing into your business, right? If you've got 6 employees, they're not on the same page. They don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, the reason you're doing what you're doing, and what success looks like, right? They don't know what success looks like. Like, okay, does success mean you sold every single policy for someone that's called you? No, that's not success. Does success means you answered every phone call? Like, that's the one. I've got a section called non-negotiables, and there's like 5 non-negotiables in there. The first one in there is we answer our phone, right? If someone calls between 9 and 5, we answer the phone. We've had a few times where we don't, and we call them back ASAP, right? It's like, that's the number one non-negotiable. Like, that's what I want to be known for. I'm the guy that answers the phone, or someone on my team does. So if the team knows that's the priority, they're able to see that vision you're painting for them, and they're able to become that. I think that people right? There's nurture versus nature. Like everyone's got their nature, but everyone can be nurtured as well. And as Christ is nurturing me to be a better person and empowering me to do good, why shouldn't I nurture people to have that same vision of doing good and being good? Like, it's not just a job where you're coming and you're doing insurance quotes and you're going home. Like, this is a way of you doing good. And I think any job, no matter how mundane, no matter how monotonous, no matter how, like, right, there's a million insurance agents. Okay, why am I different? I'm not different. I'm going to quote you the same companies everyone else is going to quote you with. But what's different is we're going to show you that we care. We're going to show that you're not just a policy. You're trusting us with your home. You're trusting us with proper coverage for your children if you're in a car accident, right? Like, that's a big deal. And so he's told me, it's like, if you put that into words and you share that and you talk about that constantly with your clients, with your guests, you talk about it with your agents that work for you and anyone that works for Financial Ginger or is associated with it, they will be nurtured to becoming more like that. And they'll believe that, right? And if they believe my job is for me to do good for people, that's so much different than I answer phones and do quotes. So I don't know, that's part of it. And it's clarifying for me. It's motivating for me. Like I've been very bad about exercise for like 4 years now. You can ask my wife. We got married and I don't know why I stopped exercising. The last like week and a half, I've been consistently exercising every day. And that was about the time I drafted that, right? The time I was able to realize and feel like my focus is Jesus Christ. I don't know why, but that focusing on the one thing makes it so I can do the many. Anyways, I've rambled for a long time because I'm passionate about it and I feel it.
No, I can tell you're passionate. And that's when you meet genuine people and people that I like being around. For me, I'm the same way. When I get on my little like certain topic, like I'm ranting for 20 hours. And so I think it's awesome when someone's passionate about it and they're not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I believe people are passionate about certain things for a reason.
Yeah.
Also, I like how you highlighted fitness. Fitness has been super huge in my life. It sounds like it is to you now,
Trying
too.
to.
Yeah.
Well, the half marathon kept me alive. Like, that was divine inspiration that kept me alive.
Yeah, and I think that's powerful because, I don't know. I've been back and forth. I haven't been consistent in the gym until like 2 years ago. Now just signed up for a High Rocks. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like an indoor running obstacle course thing. High Rocks.
High Rocks.
It's newer. It's trending now.
What's it called? The type of fitness?
Like CrossFit?
Yeah, CrossFit.
A little bit. Yeah. Like so you like run a mile and then you do not a mile, but
deadlifts, Olympics, and
yeah. So, anyways, but fitness and waking up early for me has helped me tremendously.
Yep. My alarm's 6:10 in the morning.
I love it.
I don't know why 6:10, but 6 o'clock's too early, but 6:10 isn't too early.
No, it's just cool because I like how you emphasize that too.
Yeah. Well, for years before that, I was waking up at 8:25 to get to the work by 9, and that's not that is someone who is functioning, not living, right? That's someone who's endlessly drifting, like was talked about with the Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. He actually even talks about that in the book, talking about fitness and eating unhealthy as being some of the ways that he's able to exert his control. And I'm like, that's so weird to think about. But I mean, you think about it closer and you're like, of course there's truth in that, right? Like there's the joke that we say you are what you eat. Well, are you eating candy and ice cream? And there's nothing wrong with candy and ice cream, but anyways, you get the idea.
Yeah. Also, if you look at successful people and everyone's definition of success is different, but they're normally fit. They normally get up pretty early. They normally have their routines and they're normally surrounded by other people doing better than them.
Yes.
And so that's just a big emphasis. If you want to be somewhat quote unquote successful, or you want to have this certain life, right? Everyone's idea of life is different.
Yep.
You better start with your habits and you better start with who you are.
I'm writing this down.
I love it.
Even though I'm going to be able to watch it back later.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. So summarize that. Like the 3 elements of successful people, they're always waking up early.
Yep.
They've got a mission. They've got to do something, right? They've got good habits. That usually includes fitness. I saw something that said it was like like the average millionaire or something like that was 62% more likely to be able to run a mile in under a certain time frame. I'm like, interesting, right? Like fitness. And then the third thing is the people you associate with. So good habits, waking up early, associating with high quality people, you're naturally going to rise to the occasion. And you have to have you don't even have to draft a mission statement. You can draft your personal vision for your life, and if you've got that one focus, that it's so absolutely true that when you focus on one core thing, it enables you to do all of the things. It's weird.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start saying, what's your mission statement? Not
ask people that.
Yeah, because like you said, it ties into multiple things. So I like how you said that. Yeah,
one of my the visions in the lower part of my command philosophy is like the visions is I will be the number one referral partner for realtors, loan officers, and other insurance agents. That's the number one. Like by 2026, I will be number one referral partner for realtors, loan officers, and other insurance agents. Because I have some insurance agents I work with where they're like, oh, I can't insure this, or oh, this person has SR22 and I don't, or whatever it is. They call me, right? Other insurance agents. And I've done the same thing. Hey, this guy bought a school bus that's been retrofitted and I just don't have options for it. I've got two people that do, right? Like, so that's my vision statement. And then the second part of it is I will have 3,000 families that I provide care, comfort, and they know that someone will answer phone. I word it slightly differently by the end of 2026. So that's my goal in the next year is to have 3,000 families that I'm servicing. And so I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that vision statement, yeah, I've said it like 5 times now. One enables, I'm like thinking about this a lot because you're bringing it up.
Because once you start having that mission statement, it's going to be replaying in your head.
Yep.
You know, like every day that I wake up, I think about the life that I want. I think about what I'm doing today. I get excited to wake up. I got injured, so I was on a little rut just from overtraining. Oh. So I wasn't waking up super early, right? I saw the contrast. But I'm getting back to waking up at 5 a.m. and I love it. Yes. I saw an Instagram reel today too, also talking about you have to create a life that you love waking up to.
Yes. If not, you're going to wake up at 8:30 just to get to work on time because you don't have a reason to wake up other than I'm going to be the guy that answers phones and does insurance quotes today.
Yep. And
it's not motivating enough.
If you are waking up and just going to work, right? You don't have any purpose. I advise, and this is, coming from a 20-year-old, but I've seen it personally, right? I've woken up, gone straight to work, whatever. My day sucked.
Yeah.
Because
not the same.
Again, you're just working. Like, oh, yep, I'm here to get paid. Peace out. I'm going to go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
You have to at least just test that. Test waking up, get a couple things done,
Yeah. It makes me think of Dune. Have you watched Dune or read the book Dune?
No.
Or seen the movie? There's a new movie.
No,
they made 3 movies of it. But anyway, so the there's this like repeating motif for the main character where he's burdened by like how does he say it? He's like, I'm burdened by purpose. Like I'm burdened by purpose. I've got this I can feel it around me. Like I've got something I have to do. And sometimes it's inspiring him, right? Like the general concept of Dune was the author went to the Middle East and he was learning about Islam and Muhammad. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of drafted the character to be, it is somewhat blasphemous to say that for some people I've met that are Muslim. They're like, absolutely not, because it's obviously a caricature. But the point is he's supposed to be a guy who's having spiritual experiences and he's being led and he's going to save these people. And then, yeah. But anyway, so he's burdened by purpose. It's like, it's forcing him to act. And it's like, if you've got purpose, it's going to make it easier to wake up in the morning. It's going to make it easier to take care of yourself physically. So like, what's your thing you're going to do? Do it. Mm-hmm. Just do it. Yes.
I mean, Nike has a thing. It makes sense. I say it more every day and it makes sense. Another thing that you said, you were talking about your goals, right? That you made for next year. And you said the phrase, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I think I actually wrote this in my notes.
Yes.
My little note that I start I think I just talked about it, but exactly. You can't live without these things. But I have just, anytime something comes to me, boom, it's being written down. But let's see. I don't even think I finished that. This is my word for word. I haven't expanded on it. I just write down my thoughts. But I said something like you. A line I've been using recently. I don't know how, but I will figure it out. Sometimes you won't know. Okay, hold on. It's like typoed. I like type it in. Sometimes you won't know how. Okay. Sometimes you won't know early how you will achieve or get something. And then I didn't finish it. But what I'm going on with this is that's a savage mindset to have. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will. It makes you hungry. And so I always point out things that I like people say. So I apologize for how many times I'm like, oh, I love that. I like that. But it's okay, that's what I look for. Because when I see hungry people and I see people that put out goals and are trying to do something, and then they say the phrase, I don't know how I'm going to, but I'm going to do it. That just gets me going. Like, this is a time where I'll start ranting, but were you always like that?
No, not. I mean, like I said, I spent 4 years just waking up to go to work, and it was affecting my relationships, right? My wife didn't like the way I was and how I was being. And, right, this is a relatively new thing, which is also why I'm scared of it, because I have a track record of doing things and then stopping. Right? Like I'm really hard on myself because I want to succeed, and I don't see results instantly or quick enough or whatever it is. And then I decide, oh, this isn't, and then I just stop doing everything. Right. So it's scary. So no, I've definitely not always been like that. I've gone through periods of it. Right. Like, so no, it's newer to me to be like this, and I'm trying to be more like this.
What made you switch your mindset? What made you realize, okay, something needs to change? Because I don't know what you think, but I think when someone goes from, whatever, to trying to have more than just an average life, something had to occur.
So here, it's one of the questions I normally ask guests on here. I oftentimes ask people, what's a number that changed you? Like numbers that changed your mind on things. And I've gotten all sorts of answers to that. So I'll answer it, and then I'll ask you the same question. Yeah,
this is my podcaster mindset coming in.
So I love it. I'm like, wait, I'm not interviewing you. You're interviewing me.
I know. Sorry.
I have all these rules that I'm supposed to follow, like 70-30. Try to get your guests to talk 70% of the time. And I'm like, I'm blowing that out of the water now. So I was looking at my numbers, like my income for the last 7 years of doing insurance. And I realized that this last year, right, and I've not done any sort of marketing. I've only done word of mouth and telling my friends that I do insurance and getting quotes that way, and family and whatnot. I looked at my income, and I've got a salary, and I'm waged and paid for managing the office and helping others. And I looked at my my commissions, and my commissions were basically identical to my salary. I'm like, wait, I'm only spending a couple hours a week doing this. Right? Like I'm posting on Facebook, or I'm taking a picture. I'm at the office. Let me know if you need a quote, or texting a realtor friend. Hey, just reminding you I exist. Right? Like that was it. I wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, wait, in 7 years, like obviously 7 years is a really slow way to grow. But basically I'm saying doing nothing, I'm making that much money on commissions. And that hit me like 6 months ago. And I was like, wait, how can I spend more time doing this? Right? And there's a coach, his name's Akbar Sheikh, and he always says, get more, give more. So he's like, I want you to make so much money that you can give away to charitable organizations. That's his whole thing. That's his whole coaching mindset in business is that. And so that thought, along with other thoughts. And then I met with my now mentor, Parker, and he was like, yeah, Jacob, you can do that. Like you just need to figure out how to market yourself, how to get yourself in front of people, how to tell your story, how to make a vision statement, right? So that was kind of the turning point in that, was seeing the numbers and being like, oh, how can I do more of that, right? How can I utilize and leverage other people and pay them, right? Like I'm paying Bart to do editing, and I'm paying the podcast studios for their space and time. How can I utilize other people and leverage them to achieve your goal of helping 3,000 families, right? And doing good especially when you're performing a service, results in your own well-being too. And so it's like, oh, and then maybe you'll have to hire an employee. Maybe it's like, and what's wrong with that? You know, it's kind of like one of my earlier episodes I recorded with one of my good friends, Deborah Wilkie. And we were talking about some of the negativity that comes around landlords. It's like, no, you need to turn negatives into positives. Like being positive, you know, like people say, oh, landlords are this or that. It's like, no, you're providing a service for people. You're doing good. And there's nothing wrong with you being compensated for doing good. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, hey, I allow pets. Most commercial landlords don't allow pets, or they charge exorbitant pet fees or whatnot for it. Or most of them are inflexible. Like hey, if you're a couple days late, that's not a problem. There is a late fee at a certain point, but I'm more flexible than other landlords. Like you're providing a service to people, and you also put the money down to buy a house, right? Like there's nothing. So yeah, that sort of thing, realizing there's accepting that it is in alignment with my love for Jesus Christ to make money is a really scary thought. And accepting that over the last couple of months has been part of the change in that mindset. Yeah. So yeah, I'll ask you the same question. Hopefully I can get more less about
No, you're good. I'm also in my I'm used to interviewing, so yeah. I apologize.
It's great. No, it's great. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm supposed to say that, and I don't say that enough. But yeah, how has a number changed your mind on something or whatever you want to share?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this scrolling through my social media, but I moved here about a year and a half ago, closer to 2 years now, and you know, like I explained earlier, it was 2 weeks and I left, right? Super fast. But I fell into a pretty bad depression, right? Again, super stubborn person. I don't really have a lot of family out in Utah, and I honestly enjoy it that way. But it was hard because I, moved 2 weeks in, whatever, adrenaline. I actually sobbed my eyes out when I got to my apartment. My parents were with me. I just went to the bathroom, cried. I was like, am I really doing this right now? And I'm sure every young person, moves out, they feel those. But for me, I was bringing my clothing line with me, right? I didn't have any family, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, it was terrifying. And so I fell into this depression. And can I actually read that post?
Sure, absolutely.
I feel like it just explains,
I'd love it,
kind of what I was feeling. But I think that's why I'm even more passionate about helping other people do scary things, because the amount that I've grown since that day has been tremendous. I didn't move here thinking I would start a podcast. I would get into real estate as an agent, right? I knew I wanted to invest. And so once you take the first step and you keep going, even when it's scary, that's when life starts to happen. And that's when you start becoming a different person and changing and making huge connections. I have, a good connection resource, and I've only been here for under 2 years. And so it just starts with those big changes. Do whatever. My motto, yes. I'm all over the place right now, but my motto is, if I'm scared or something's giving me anxiety, that's my body telling me I have to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Another thing also, when I wake up, right? Sometimes my alarm goes off and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this today. And I get up, and those are the days I do the most. I get the most done. I feel the most happy. You would, if you're a person that sleeps in, the idea of waking up at 5 a.m, you're like, why would you ever do that? That sounds miserable. I mean, if you go to bed at 9, which that's pretty early, I would say, it's doable, but it's easier. I have seen the contrast. I've seen not waking up early. I've seen waking up early, and the harder things make you happier. And I will live on that till the day I die. So I'll read this super fast. Let's see. Let me find it. But I was just super inspirational that day, and I was like, let's just share it.
I was thinking about what you well, you found it, just cut me off. But
no, you're right.
You said, I do it anyways. I don't know if you've ever seen, he's a YouTuber. His name's like Yoshi or something like that. And he writes his own music. And he has this whole thing where he dances super awkwardly to his own music. And he's like, when I'm feeling sad, when I'm feeling mad, I do it anyways. Anyways, I thought about that. I was like, I'll link it. I'll have to put a link in the podcast. No, you should. It's really good. Or I'll find it and I'll text it to you afterwards.
Yes, but that's my thing.
That's the mindset.
And since that day, right? And since falling into the deep depression, calling my parents, being like, I don't know what to do. My parents are kind of anti-medication. Backstory, my dad just is a fallen officer. So he has PTSD, got on hard drugs, almost committed suicide. And so it was very like anti in my family, right? He was on super hard medical drugs and it didn't do him well personally. He just had a bad experience. But my thing was, shoot, do I need to get on medication? I ended up doing it for a little bit, fell off of it. But basically what I'm saying is that one hard choice of doing something, moving, 10 hours away, not knowing anyone, has created this and a different person that I wouldn't have been if I just stayed in my comfort zone. And so I'll read this super fast and we can do whatever you want next. But it's just a little video compilation on my Instagram. I posted it across my clothing line and my podcast as well. I'll read it fast, but it's a little vulnerable. Almost a year and a half ago, I made a decision that completely changed my life. I decided to move across the country, signed a lease, and just 2 weeks later, I packed up everything and left, stepping away from my family and everything familiar. The move itself wasn't hard. I just went, but what came after was a challenge I didn't see coming. Being on my own, away from everything I knew, I fell into a deep depression. Some days I questioned everything. Was I making the right choices? Could I really handle life on my own? Slowly I started to pull myself out. I learned to trust myself, embrace discomfort, and take small steps every day towards the life I wanted. Since then, I've grown in ways I've never imagined. I started a podcast, experimented boldly with my clothing brand, dove into real estate, and became an agent with the #1 team in Utah, and fell in love with running and fitness. I've met incredible people who inspire and challenge me, and I've learned lessons I couldn't have anywhere else. This part's important. Looking back, I realized that stepping out of your comfort zone was the best decision I've ever made. Growth is messy, uncomfortable, and unpredictable, but also life-changing. My story isn't over. I don't even think I've finished the first chapter. There are so many more stories to be written, connections to be made, and impacts I want to leave on the world. If you're standing at the edge of a big decision, unsure if you should take the leap, I want you to know this. The unknown is where life happens. It's scary, yes, but it's also where growth, adventure, and transformation live. Step out of your comfort zone, trust yourself, your best chapter is waiting. So, just a big take. I definitely think moving away, which is probably big for everyone, but really led me to take that big leap. And so I repeat it all the time, but if you are scared to do something, it's probably a sign you should go do it.
Absolutely. Wow. I know we're running out of time. I don't even know where to go from here because this is so fun. I want to just keep talking. Okay. So, thank you so much, Savanah. This has been truly wonderful. Well, I'll have to have you on again at some point.
I need you on my podcast.
Sure.
So I was going to bring it up after this.
Okay. So yeah, it'll be great. I'd love to. It'll be awesome. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful and enlightening and empowering. And I really appreciate you asking me about myself. That was really relieving for me to be able to just share, my love for Jesus. And it's kind of cool trying to do that more. So thank you for creating a space for allowing that. I know it's kind of a weird question to ask. Like, how can I help you? Is there anything I can help you with? And I don't know if it's business or life or anything. I don't know. I just want to offer help.
Yeah. I definitely will talk to you a lot about podcasting. Cool. But I guess I like to ask people older than me, and maybe this will help the people listening, but what would you advise someone just starting their 20s or in their early 20s to just really know about life, or what do you think they should prioritize?
That's a really good question. One thing that I wish I had done 10 years ago was write out a vision for like 5 years in the future, like what I want. And it's okay if it changes. It's not set in stone just because you've written something down, right? Like maybe your goal is to become a real estate agent and realize that's actually not your thing. Okay. But having a vision, having purpose through a vision, or even a vision board or a statement or however you want to save it on your phone or on your screensaver or paper on your wall, just like having a vision for what you want in the next 5 years is empowering. I'd say the other thing I would say to myself is don't be scared to take big risks. And I'm saying that to myself. I mean, I'm 31, but I was really thinking about, there are people that are in their 40s and 50s that are, people would assume you're too old to try big things, especially when you're 20, you're not too, you're able to try big things. So I would say if I could have said to myself at 21, when I was being offered jobs to start from zero, it's not that you can't do it when you're older. It's that it's much easier when you're younger, right? Like when my dad wanted to be a chef after he graduated business school. Okay. He had 2 kids. My mom was pregnant with me at the time. Mom was like, you can't go back to school right now. Obviously he probably could have, but right. It's only going to get harder to do the big, scary things as you get older. So give yourself permission and some grace to make big mistakes now. I think that's what I would say. And that'd be my encouragement to you, right? Like draft out your vision. Like, what's it going to look like in 5 years? Like, what is your clothing? What is, I want to say lilac rose.
Lilac stone, yeah.
Lilac stone going to look like in 5 years, right? Like, what is your real estate business going to look like in 5 years, right? Is it going to be, I'm going to be connected with certain people? Is it going to be, I'm going to have a certain type of employee? Is it going to be a certain revenue goals, a certain number of houses, right? Like, what's that thing that you can wake up to every day excited to try and be scared of? Anyways, I'm getting monologue, but that's what I would say to myself if I could go back. It's, Try the 100% commission job that's not giving you a paycheck. What's the worst that goes wrong? You're a year older in a year and you can go get a normal job later. Start the business. Start the car cleaning company. Start the trash can cleaning business. Start the clothing line. Start the podcast. What's the worst case? It fails in a year and you decide to go do something different. Do the hard thing. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah. I love it. Similar mindset.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. I do need to wrap up. If someone's listened and they were like, wow, Savanah Romney is awesome, how can I reach out to her to ask about clothing lines or look at her podcast or work with her to buy a home? How can people find you?
Yep. Everything is linked to my personal Instagram. Okay. And so if you just look up Savanah Romney, I only have one N in my name. So it's Savanah and then Romney. But there you can find links to everything and feel free to DM me. I love meeting new people. So
yeah, that was how we met.
Yeah.
Just a quick DM. I was like, this is so inspirational, her content.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Okay. I don't think there's anything I'm missing. I think we are good. Oh, call to action. I have to do that. So thank you so much for listening. You guys are all great. I would love to invite you to leave a comment, ask a question of Savanah. I'll make sure she sees the podcast so that she can read comments. I'll read comments. I'll send them to her. Ask a question about real estate or mindset or waking up in the morning, or tell us your experience, right? Like, has there been a difference in your life at some point when you were waking up early versus not, eating healthy versus not? Like, how have those things helped you? Comment your vision. What's your goal for this year that you're going to accomplish? I don't know. What else could someone do? Comment, subscribe. Go follow Savanah. Find her Instagram. Follow her clothing line, Lilac Stone.
Yes.
Follow the podcast, Uncharted. I saw it on YouTube. It's got its own Instagram.
Yep. Instagram's most relevant. I mean, I'm on TikTok, but just keep it to Instagram.
Okay.
Just
Instagram, DM, follow, all that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it, and see you next time.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.